Hello, my name is Matthew. Um, in my last video, I mentioned that I was uh, talking to a woman on Instagram. It's an Instagram friend, and she's French. And last night we were talking about Guy de Maupassant. She recommended Solitude, and I asked if she had remembered a story that I was trying to think about. I knew the plot, but I couldn't remember the name of the story. And um, what I said was it's a Maupassant short story about a fisherman who loses his arm on the boat, and when he gets back to shore, he makes a little arm-sized casket, and he puts his dismembered limb in the casket and buries it. That's all I could remember. And before I talk about the story, um, I'll also say that we talked about doing a buddy read, and I think next weekend we're gonna read Pierre and Jean by Guy de Maupassant. It's more like a novella length, about 100 pages. If anybody watching this wants to have a quick read some, read a great story, please do. I'll say something funny. I asked her if she ever reads, or if she has ever read Maupassant translated into English, which is the only way that I read him. I don't know any other languages. And she responded and said, "Blasphemy! LOL, no." Which just cracked me up. Anytime someone uses the word blasphemy, it makes me smile. So anyway, this morning I had a message, and she asked if the story might be at sea. So I went through my books. I have the complete works of Maupassant. It's like 15 or 16 volumes, and I couldn't find it. Went through it two or three times, and I couldn't find it. And so I looked up the translation of At Sea, and it's En Mer. And the collection that I have has a bilingual title index. And so I looked up En Mer, and it was there under a different title. It was titled Selfishness. All of that being said, I got to read it this morning, and it might not be my favorite short story by Maupassant, but for whatever reason, the imagery has been memorable. The idea of an arm-sized casket, and it's a story of two brothers who are fishermen, and they go out to sea. The older brother, I'll say, is the captain, and the younger brother is one of the deckhands, and they're casting a net, and he describes these cables. Well, they throw the cables somehow operate the netting, and they throw the net, and they get a huge load of fish. And while they're pulling them up, the younger brother's arm gets caught in the cable, and it snags and catches his arm. And one of the other deckhands runs over with a knife to slash the cable, and the older brother, the captain of the boat, stops him and says, "No, we'll lose our load. The net will be lost, and the fish that they've caught means money." And so they take this very precious time to throw an anchor, to loosen the cable, and by the time they get this poor man's arm unsnagged, it's just a horrifying sight. The bones have been crushed. It's hanging on by tendons, and they know it's not going to be saved. It's just a dangling, dead limb. I think they wait till hours later, or maybe the next day, and the younger brother makes the decision out at sea to use a knife and sever his arm. They pack it in salt where the fish are stored. One of the other fishermen makes a joke that when they get back, maybe they'll sell the arm at a fishmonger's market. Everybody laughs, except the two brothers. And they get back to shore, and before they get back to shore, one of the other fishermen said, "Why don't you just chuck your arm into the sea?" He says, "No, that's my arm." They get back to shore, and he goes to a coffin maker, makes him a little casket, a little coffin, and he puts his arm in it to bury it. The last line of the book: "If my brother had been willing to cut the cable, I should still have my arm. But he was looking to his own pocket." One of the great things is so many of these short stories by Maupassant are 5-10 minute reads, maybe 15 minutes to read them. And they're just great. They're just so good. The characters, the situations, the way that just in a paragraph, a few sentences, he'll set up this little world that you're going to spend a very short amount of time in, masterfully constructed, and tells you a great story and then wraps it up into a perfect little conclusion. I'm thinking about maybe doing something kind of regular, like a Maupassant Mondays, because they're so easy to read, and I love reading Maupassant, and growing to learn that I love sharing my love for Maupassant. That's it. Very 8-minute video. So again, let me know if you've read Maupassant. Let me know if you'd like to read Pierre and Jean next week. This will be my last book before I embark on Joseph and His Brothers, my March Mammoth book. And let me know anything else. Leave a comment if you would like. And thank you for watching.